In the NIV, in the chapter at the end of Luke, it says, Jesus reinstates Peter. Reinstates. I'm always like, man, theologically, we screwed that up in the NIV because there's no reinstatement going on. There's Jesus going, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? And there's Simon Peter like, Lord, I love you, man. I love you. But what's Jesus doing? Jesus is tapping into Peter's understanding that he needs to be loved. Not Jesus needing confirmation that Simon Peter loves him. Jesus doesn't need our confirmation. He doesn't need our song and dance in Christendom. Look at me, I'm feeling good. I'm going to the Bible study, Jesus. No, he doesn't need that. He needs your understanding that you are loved by him. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Is translated, you need my love. You need my love. You need my love. He says, we certainly don't look at him that way anymore. And we're all in that boat because we're here today. We now look inside. And what we see is that anyone united with the Messiah gets a fresh start, is created new. And we all know that, right? All things old become new. Like, that's what we get. But remember, when we go all things new and we step into new because we can, it's not so behaviorally transformative that some of the old stuff doesn't come along with us. So much so that Paul says in Romans, I do the things I don't want to do. I do these things I don't want to do. He says, but if I feed the flesh, I'll reap the benefits of that. But if I feed the Spirit, if I feed the transformative lifestyle, I will gain love. I will gain love. And this is a huge understanding for us. It takes the burden off us always being right. It takes the burden off us always being perfect. He's the guy that confronts Jesus when Jesus is talking about how Jesus is going to leave. Because Jesus says, I got to go, man. I got things to do. I'm going to settle it. I'm going to bring new life to you, and it means I have to leave. He's the guy that's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Shh. Don't say that stuff, Jesus. Stop saying that stuff. I don't want you to hear that stuff. He's that guy, right? And so Jesus turns around to him and is like, hey, get behind me, Satan. So what kind of a relationship is that? Like, Jesus is like rebuking him as the devil at that point. And I'm like, you read that and you're like, whoa, that is harsh. What happened to Simon Peter at the end of that day? What was the campfire like at the end of that day? Hey, dude, like Jesus really like kind of nailed you, man. Like kind of said, shut up. And what was Simon Peter's reaction to Jesus later on when perhaps they're alone? Like, hey, dude, can you not confront me like that in front of everybody? Because I'm like Simon Peter, man. What's wrong with you? Transformative understanding. Or perhaps did Peter start to understand the Savior's love for everyone in the world? Or perhaps there's a transformative understanding later that night or the following morning of love that was about to be injected into the world so much that it would change every corner on every street on our planet.